I'm proud of the resiliency of our team, and we have, as with everybody in this league, we have tremendous respect for the opponent, and the firepower of Illinois is scary because they can score so many different ways. They're taking over 23, 24 threes a game. Maverick Morgan is a real key to their team. Didn't play as much against us, and I mean, he's scary. How efficient they can be offensively. So our guys are, when he's in the game and when they're playing through him. So our guys were really locked in to understanding that it's more than just a one or two man team when you're playing Illinois. But at the same time, when you've got a guy like Malcolm Hill that's capable of what he's capable of, what Kendrick Nunn is capable of, you've got to be really locked into those guys. And I thought that we were. Jalen had a very strong game offensively, but I think the fact that we were able to defend them without fouling, keep them off the foul line. Malcolm averages 15 free throw attempts a game when they win, and for us to come out of the game without him having a free throw and to have to earn his baskets and the fact that we rebounded the ball at a high rate, those were the key things. For us, we played much sharper in the second half in the sense of making sure that the ball was going through the paint. In the first half, we were 14 of 20 when we went through the paint, but we were 3 of 17 when we didn't, and that's not a good recipe for us. Our recipe's got to be we got to go through the paint. That doesn't mean we have to score in the paint, but the ball has to go through there. And in the second half, we did a much better job of that. And I give them credit. In the first half, they did an excellent job of defending our post and making it hard for us to get inside. But we got better movement in the second half, and we were really sound on defense. And proud of the way that they defended. It's our first time playing without Robert Johnson. And that's always going to cause a lot of fear for the coach, but it's also the players miss him, you know, when he's not out there. And for us to play without him tonight and have the guys step up the way that they did says a lot about the way that they're improving, says a lot about their desire to get better, and it says a lot about the resiliency and the camaraderie that they carry amongst each other as a group. So very, very important win, very valuable win. Against a team that's got some real firepower, and I mean we take this win very, very seriously based on the way Illinois is very close. I mean they're very, very close, and our guys were really locked into what we had to do tonight to get the win. So go ahead.
Questions? Back here in the middle.
Tom, I guess, I mean, obviously Yogi's been a big piece for you guys for pretty much his whole career, and certainly the last 3 seasons, but you've talked about, and other guys have talked about, him taking guys with him this year. How important was he in that second half? And at some level, is there another gear he's got this year, particularly as you go down?
Yeah, I can't go into the next day. That's a hypothetical, but as far as what he's doing, and as far as the way he plays, that's really important. He works very hard. And we don't get caught up, I've said this before back home, we don't get caught up in slumps, we don't get caught up in percentages, we just get caught up in improvement. And from the day he walked in, he's been one of the guys that spends a ton of extra time in the gym. What he's gained now is the ability to study film. He's playing with a lot of confidence, and he brings a lot of confidence to his teammates. And very proud of the way that he played, and he continues to figure out the game. And at the same time, there's very few nights that he doesn't draw the toughest assignment from the other team. So I hope that people see how valuable that he is, not only in this league but nationally, because he deserves it. And you can't argue with the numbers, and you can't argue with the record that he's put forth as a senior, and you can't argue with the performances that he's put together. And certainly tonight's takes a backseat to none. So very proud of the way that he continues to improve, continues to lead, and continues to perform.
You mentioned the ball going through the paint more in the second half. Anything else? What else was different offensively in the second half versus the first half?
A few more screens, a few more cross screens probably, but we just defended better, and it got us loose a little bit. But again, our focus had to be defense and rebounding. Everybody that played 8 minutes or more got a rebound in this game. And so when you got rebounded team by 20, that's huge. And it's got to come from a lot of people. And Rob, the challenge to our team was really having the ability to step up tonight we would miss Rob's offense because he can score and he makes threes and he's basically our second ball handler. But he's been playing defense at an extremely high level and really all year, but especially as of late. And the key for us, the challenge was going to be, were we going to be able to respond to that? And I thought that these guys did. I thought the job, Malcolm Hill is a big time player. I mean, he just flat out is, because he can score from three and at the rim. He's got moves. He can play off both feet. He's got the step back. He's bona fide. And Kendrick Nunn is a blur. And he can score at the rim. He can score from three. And certainly Jalen can shoot the ball. 70% of his points are coming from a line. We did not do a great job on him. But the bottom line is that everybody picked their game up defensively. And I think it was good in the first half, and it got a lot better in the second half. And our break was a result of it.
You know left back.
Hey, Tom, I saw you right here. I saw you commend Thomas after the game for stepping up. Those first 7 points in the second half all came from him. Was that just an example of him maybe being a little bit more assertive?
I think so. And when you're taking somebody out of the lineup, the key is everybody has to do more defensively and rebounding. And I think we learned at the Big Ten season when James went out that no one's going to make up 16 points, right? It's not like one or two guys are going to make up those points. You've got to make up ground in other ways. Well, tonight we have to have some other guys step up and do even more offensively, and that's exactly what he did. He works extremely hard. He's getting better. Made a three tonight on the road. He's getting more and more comfortable with the ball. He's a product of his development, and the key is that he responded defensively and on the glass, and was pretty poised because he played some extended minutes, and some of that's because we could play him. He didn't have any foul issues, which was huge. And we had a big task tonight too, because Maverick Morgan is a post up and he can shoot to 17, and Michael Finke can shoot to 23. And so you've got to be locked in on those guys every time. It's not like you're just battling them in the low post. You've got to go where they go. And so I thought he did an excellent job. I thought Juwan and OG, at one point in time, I looked out there in the first half, we had 4 guys over 6'7" on the court. And at one point in the second half, I think it was second half, we had 3 freshmen on the court, which we were trying to stay away from before, but now we really have no choice. And I'm proud of the way all of those guys, all 4 freshmen, did a good job tonight. Very good job. OG's defense was tremendous, as was Juwan's.
Right in the middle.
Tom, you said Illinois is very, very close. Just can you elaborate on that?
Sure,
Why you
I think, well, first off, when you do this for a living like we do, you study the films all the time. Like, I don't watch many games, you study the film. So when you're constantly seeing, John is excellent at putting those guys in position to score. I mean, they gotta make the shots, right? But he does a great job of playing to his personnel. I mean, Malcolm Hill is a hard matchup. There's very few guys that are getting the free throw attempts that he's getting. And he's got some injuries, obviously, that he's had, and you look at the guys that he's got sitting down at the end of his bench, you know that they can play. And he's playing freshmen along with some older guys. And they're dangerous. I mean, they're very, very dangerous. And this league is full of really good teams. And when I say they're close, they need a couple things to go their way in the second half. A couple things did go their way in the second half in the last couple games. They had a different record. But I think he's an excellent coach. I think they got a high-level staff. And I think when I read the comments that they were a different team than when we played them. And early, well, we're a different team because we're getting better. And you can obviously see that they're a different team because they're getting better. So I just hope he continues to keep his spirit high, because I think they're going to be good. I mean, I don't have no question about it. You look at that talent, and they're getting better, and the numbers show it. But really, like I said, when you're watching the film all the time, and you're watching the progression of a team, because you see everybody play when you're preparing for the other game. You see it. I have no doubt in my mind.
Tom, just forgive the injury question, kind of what happened with Troy there, and obviously he was able to come back. Did everything kind of go smoothly in him getting back on the floor? And then
they
also,
don't play tomorrow.
Is Rob still day-to-day, basically?
Rob's situation is still the ankle sprain, and we just got to continue to rehabilitate him and evaluate it constantly, and that's what they're doing. And there's no real update past that. Troy's is a thigh bruise, and so we'll have to see how that progresses. He's sore, but they cleared him to go back in. I was concerned that he wouldn't be able to go back in, but he did. Probably should have got him in a little bit earlier, but we had a good flow. But hopefully we can get him healed up.
Right.
You talk a little bit about Shane Hill out, like realistically going into the game, did you think there was any way to take Hill and Nunn out of the game?
No, well, you want to. I mean, we put a lot of stock. Here's why they're good, because those two guys can do so many things, but if you help off of, and Jalen's an example of that. You know, we didn't guard him, they went right at us early with him. But they've got too many shooters on the court. But our guys were, I think it shows the seriousness that they put into every game plan and the respect that they have for the opponent and the fact that they spend a lot of time. And when we're playing a guy like Malcolm Hill and Kendrick Nunn, we do breakdown drills for those guys. It's not just let's get ready to guard the guys in Illinois. We actually do breakdown work to defend what we think their strengths are. And it's one thing to have a plan as a coach, it's a whole other thing for the players to do it and then to carry it out, and that's what they did tonight.
Okay, Coach.
Go ahead, Zach.
I want to ask, is Lionel doing okay? He just looked a little under the weather.
You know, I think he is. Yeah, I think he's, I don't think he is doing okay, to be honest with you. I think he's sick.
Yeah.
So, I was a little oblivious to that, so, but after the game, I realized that. So he faked it during the day, because I couldn't tell it during the day. You know, he was high level during the day, but I think he struggled tonight, so I'm glad we have Stephen Houston over there. They're a good team. Thank you.